welcome to Rolling with Bowen. It's been a while. Finally got some time, decided I'd upload a few videos or record them. Probably both get uploaded today or within the next week at least. So, start off with one that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and that is a ranking video. This will be my very first ranking video on this channel. We're going to start seeing more stuff like this. I really want to be uploading to this channel and be more active. So, let's get started. So today, we're ranking my all-time favorite movie franchise. I've had so many ideas for different rankings and what I can rank. And why not start with my all-time favorite movie franchise? I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I've never been big on it. But there are some things out there I do like. There are some movies out there I like. One of them being, well, my all-time favorite, which is Tremors. So we're going to rank them. I'm going to rank all 7 movies, starting with my least favorite to my number 1 favorite. This will not include the Tremors series. The series was a sci-fi series that ran back in 2003. I think it only ran for 1 season. It's not going to include this. This was kind of a spin-off. It kind of did its own thing. This, I think, is a video in of itself, so sometime in the future I will do a video on this, but for the sake of today's video, we will not be discussing the Tremors series, so that's going to get set aside. Alright, so let's get going. About a month ago, I sat down and watched all 7 of them, in order, starting from the first movie to the most recent. And I decided to do that. I kind of knew where my rankings were going to be. Like, I knew my number 1 all-time favorite. That I had down. But as far as the others, and I thought I knew my second favorite, but I decided to change it after watching all of them. So, my number 1 favorite is still the same, but the others I kind of rearranged because after sitting down and watching all of them again, I had some new epiphanies as to what I liked more so than some of the others. So anyway, let's kick it off with number 7. This is my least favorite out of the entire franchise, and that is Tremors 5 Bloodlines. Of course, you got Michael Gross returning as Burt Gummer, and then you got Jamie Kennedy in here. This overall, I guess, decent. I felt is very cheesy. I felt it is just nothing but just one-liner after one-liner after one-liner in this. And they did, I don't know. I feel like they were trying to, I don't know what they were trying to do. They have some little scenes that are like a little homages to Jurassic Park in here and things like that. I don't know. The storyline's not bad. I mean, Burt Gummer finds out that he has a son. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. So he's trying to come to terms with that. So it does kind of focus on his character and a little bit of his past life and things, which is kind of cool. But I just really didn't care much for the movie. And there is one part in here that I absolutely hate. And a lot of people have liked it, but I really felt like, before I get into this part, I felt like they really were making fun of Bert's character in this. I felt like they were trying to make him like a parody of himself almost. I felt like the whole cage, him being locked up in a cage, was just out of character for him. Bert was always prepared, and yes, he would be blindsided by things that he thought he was prepared for, but he wasn't. But Bert would have never allowed himself to be locked up in a cage. I don't feel like that was something that you go back to like the first Tremors movie, and that is not something that is not a position you would have found Bert in. He would have never gotten himself into that position. So and then the lion, pissing on him and everything. I just really felt like they were just absolutely just destroying his character and just completely desecrating it. So I was not a fan of this movie, and I'm not a fan of that scene at all. I felt it was horrible and out of character. But that's just my own opinion. Anyway, coming in at number 7, sorry. Tremors 5, Bloodlines. Coming in at number 6 is Tremors Cold Day in Hell. This was the 6th movie. This came out after Tremors 5. This one actually was decent. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but decent. I felt like this had a closer... I felt like this... I don't know. The characters... I mean, Jamie Kennedy's back. Michael Gross is back as Burt Gummer, but I felt like this had the overall feel of the first 3 films. I felt like this was closer to that overall feel and that vibe than Tremors 5. I felt this was actually pretty decent. I felt it was good. I did enjoy it. Again, not perfect. I don't have really much to say about this one outside of the fact I did enjoy it. Yes, a little bit misleading because, they hyped up how this was going to take place up north in a colder, wintry environment, and you get none of that. You have one little 5-minute scene at the beginning where you see snow, but that's about it. So a little bit misleading on that, but overall, I feel like this film was really good, really enjoyable, and so coming in at number 6, Tremors, Cold Day in Hell. Oh, one of the other key things I really like about this film too is you get a little glimpse of perfection, which I thought was really cool. I think it was kind of paying fan service, because I would really like to see a movie go back to perfection. But you do in the beginning see a little glimpse of it. There's the beginning there's a little scene in the beginning where Burt Gummer is in perfection. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, there it is. Tremors, Cold Day in Hell. Coming in at number 6. Coming in at number 5. The most recent, Tremors, Shrieker Island. This is the 7th movie. This is the latest of the films. This one I really enjoyed. There are a lot of cool things about this, even though it's all new characters, pretty much, except for Michael Gross. I felt like the characters were good. I felt like the story was intriguing. It kind of had a little kind of more actiony and whatnot than you've seen in the other ones, but definitely good. And one of the cool things about this is finally we get a glimpse of Shriekers. We're actually dealing with Shriekers for the first time. We're actually dealing with Shriekers in this movie to any significant extent for the first time since Tremors 2. I mean, Tremors 3, in the beginning he's in Argentina and shoots up a bunch of Shriekers, but outside of that, I mean, this is the first time we've had a movie based on them since Tremors 2. So that was really, really, really cool. That made me super excited about this movie. I felt like Ass Blasters got more attention than they needed. I mean, they were fine in the 3rd movie and whatnot, but I don't feel like we needed to do every movie after that based around them. I felt like the Shriekers were kind of underrated and definitely didn't get as much attention as they deserved. So this movie did do them some service. Good movie, storyline good, everything about it really good. I actually do enjoy this. Considering the ending, which we're going to talk about in another video. The ending is a little disappointing, but I have some thoughts on that. So, Um, but yeah, Shrieker Island Tremors coming in at number 5. Decent and enjoyable. Out of the 3 most recent, 5, 6, and 7, this one's the most enjoyable. And I have watched it a few times, so definitely nice. Coming in at number 5. Okay, coming in at number 4 is Tremors 4, The Legend Begins. This is a prequel. This tells the story of Bert's great grandfather, I believe it is. Just his name is Heimergummer or something like that. And he's the opposite of, obviously, Bert completely. He's this rich, snobby, very domesticated guy who knows absolutely nothing, knows nothing about firearms, and winds up having to learn a whole bunch. He has a mine that's in this town. He was refusing to close the mine because there's some killings that were claimed to be by some underground creatures, and he had to come down and kind of see for himself. Anyway, he winds up helping the town fight the graboids, and this is really, I felt like this was badly underrated. I felt like this deserves more credit than what it was given. I don't feel like it was promoted properly and advertised when it came out. All of a sudden, it just kind of showed up on the shelves. I don't remember hearing anything about it back when it came out in 2004, I think it was 2004. All of a sudden, I walk into King Soopers in Lakewood, Colorado, and there it is, sitting up on a. There it is, sitting on a shelf with movies. There's a little stand with movies on it in the front, and there it is. Never heard about it. There's no promotion, no nothing. I felt like Universal Studios really dropped the bomb on this. This could have done a lot better had they just promoted it properly. It is a good movie. Very underrated. I love the way the townsfolk come together, and I love how they didn't have much, but you know what, they came together and they did the best they could with what they had. And definitely a kind of a popular quote by Bert Gummer, doing the best I can with what I got. It's a quote from Tremors 2. And this town, the people, the townfolk, at the time it was not called perfection, it was called rejection. And they really came together and they used what they had, and they used their imaginations, and they took on these graboids with what they could, and they just used their brain power and their imaginations to fight these creatures. I really liked that. There was something about that just really intrigued me. Great movie. Tremors 4, Legend Begins, coming in at number 4. Okay, this is where I'm going to get a lot of hate. So coming in at number 3. This is where the controversy starts. I'm gonna get some massive hate and probably some nasty comments in the comment section over this one because, and again, I just want to emphasize this is my personal opinion. Okay, I'm allowed to like these in the order I want to like them. I'm not saying you have to like them. I'm not saying you have to agree with them. I'm telling everyone watching right now, you are not going to agree with my placement of this next movie at all. Okay, so just giving you a spoiler alert. Coming in at number 3, the first Tremors with Kevin Bacon. That's right. That's right. You guys are already in the comment section, just freaking out right now. Freaking out. I know it. That's all right. It's all right. There's a reason for it. I like the first one. Don't get me wrong. It's a great movie. It's fantastic. I have no complaints about this movie. Okay? It is absolutely just fantastic. It's got Kevin Bacon. It's got Fred Ward. And it's got Michael Gross. Kevin Bacon as Val. Fred Ward as Earl Bassett. And Michael Gross as Bert Gummer. And this is just an absolutely fantastic movie. Everyone likes it because it's got Kevin Bacon in it. I think that's the reason why this is everyone's favorite. It's not my favorite for Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon was, I never, even when I watched it as a kid or growing up, I never was like, oh, it's Kevin Bacon. You know, I'll tell you who I was more excited about. And an actor that plays in here that doesn't get the credit she deserves. I was more excited about the fact that Reba McEntire played in it. More than I was Kevin Bacon. Reba McEntire plays Heather, Burt Gummer's wife in this. And has a pretty cool part. So, yeah, Tremors, great movie. Just coming in at number 3 for me. There's 2 others that I enjoy more. Part of that is because I think this has been played out. I've seen this just too much as a kid. I liked it, but it wasn't my first movie that I watched. And I'm going to get more into that here when I get down to the number 1 spot. But I'll explain more on this. We'll kind of come back to this. But this was not the first Tremors. This is not the movie that introduced me to Tremors, which has a huge effect on why it's not my number 1 favorite. So anyway, coming at number 3, Tremors, the first movie. I'm going to set that aside because we're going to come back to that. Coming in at number 2, Tremors 3, Back to Perfection. Now, again, I'm going to get a lot of hate. How could you put Tremors 3 ahead of the first one? Higher up than the first one. I just overall enjoy it more. I like the comedy feel in this. Tremors 1 had that comedy, but I don't feel like the characters were at their best. We'll get more into that here in a little bit. But I feel like Burt Gummer was not at his peak, but his character is really defined, and I felt like this is who he should have been. I felt like all the characters were good. I felt like the comedy. There was really no horror aspect in this movie at all. It's just kind of straight up comedy. But it's funny, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy it more than I watch this more. I mean, I haven't seen Tremors 1. When I watched Tremors 1 a month ago, it was the first time I'd watched it. Probably 8 or 9 years. So, I just don't. I watch this all the time though. So I just really do enjoy it more. So Tremors 3, Back to Perfection, coming in at number 2. Coming in at number 1. If you guys if you've been paying attention, you know which one it is. That's right. Tremors 2, Aftershocks. Not only is this my favorite Tremors movie, and I feel the greatest, I feel this is the greatest movie to ever be made of all time. This is just absolutely phenomenal. This movie was my introduction to Tremors. This is the very first movie I ever saw. I remember going into my mom's bedroom at night. She had a TV in there. And on Channel 3, it was HBO. I would go in and I discovered this. And I would always come across this movie that last half. Like after they all meet back up at the oil refinery towards the end. It was always from that point on that I would catch this movie. I could never catch it from the beginning. I would try, but it was always the earliest I ever caught it as a kid on TV was when they found the graboid split open. I remember my sister came in and saw it and kind of freaked out and went out and, you gotta see what he's watching. I don't know what he's watching, but he shouldn't be watching it. Whatever, you know. She kind of freaked out over it until she realized what it was I was watching, because I'd go in there every night and watch this. But I would always see the end of it. Finally, I had a teacher in elementary school, and I'm going to just tell you her name. Her name is Mrs. Palmer, Anderson Elementary School. She found out that I loved this movie, and I was telling her I never got to see it from the beginning. She said she had it recorded on VHS. Her son really liked it, and that she would give it to me. So she brought me the VHS tape. It was back in 96, 97, 98 maybe. And so she brought me in the VHS tape. But here's the kicker. The VHS tape had the entire beginning, but it cut off right at the point where they all climb the water tower. Where Grady and Earl climb up the water tower and they ask, or no, Earl and, yeah, Grady, no, it's Earl and Kate. They climb to the top of the radio tower and Grady's already up there and they ask Grady where Bert is. And he's going around to show them that Bert's in the bucket of the front end loader. And that's where it cuts off. Right when Grady's like, "Oh, Bert, he's back here. I'll show you," and it cuts off right there. That's where it cut off at. So it's funny. I went from being able to only see the end of it, that last third quarter of the movie, to only. I went from being able to only see that to only being able to watch the first 3/4 of the movie. So interesting turn of events, but. Loved this movie. Finally got it on DVD and just watched it over and over and over and over and over again. Had the whole thing memorized. Oh my gosh, I had the thing memorized by the time I was, 9 years old, 10 years old. So, absolutely love it. Still love it. Still watch it. Fantastic movie. Now, why? Well, I felt like one is Bert's character. I felt like this. How do I say this? This was like his magnum. This was like the magnum opus as far as his character. I felt like they finally figured out how his character should be. Like they really refined it and brushed it up, and he was at his absolute best in this movie. And I felt like they didn't quite capture that in this one. Bert was serious in this one, but he didn't really have much comedy going on with him. A little bit, but they really figured it out in Tremors 2. I just overall like it. I like everything about it. I like the chemistry between the characters. I like Earl's character. I felt like he was much funnier and funner to watch in this than he was in the first one. So I just really liked everything about this. Just an absolute fantastic movie. Tremors 2, my number one all-time favorite movie of all time, and also my number one favorite Tremors movie. And I feel like this movie is super, super, super underrated and does not get the love it deserves. So someone's got to. I've watched, and I have not seen anyone put this at number 2 or number 1. I don't think I've seen any channels hold this as number 1. Believe it or not. I think I may be the only one out there. Not that I've come across yet. If you know of any, let me know in the comments below. But I think I'm the only one on YouTube that's putting this movie as number 1. So it deserves it. Definitely deserves it. So anyway, Tremors 2, number 1. Tremors 2 Aftershocks. There it is, folks. That's my ranking. That's my Tremors ranking. May do another video on the series at some point in the future. I really need to sit down and watch it because I own it, but I've not watched it in years. And there's actually a few episodes I still have not seen. So I need to sit down and do that before I talk about it. So anyway, that's it. Tremors ranking. Again, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree. That's okay. I expect to see a lot of people freaking out over the fact that I don't have Tremors 1, the first one, ranked higher. So, anyway, there it is. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do intend to do more videos on this channel. I got another channel called Record Junkie, and it's been off and on. I've been busy and I work, and so I work a full-time job, and then I also am a karaoke host and a mobile DJ, so I'm doing multiple things, folks. I went from truck driving to working a full-time job with the city, still driving truck. I drive dump truck, water truck, whatever, but still using my CDL. But I also host karaoke and I do some mobile DJing off on the side. So things get pretty busy. So I intend to focus more on these channels. I like to grow them. I really would. So we're trying. We're going to keep working at it. Hopefully I can get on a good schedule and we can be uploading on a regular basis. So That is my goal for this year, 2025. That's my New Year's resolution, actually. Get on a consistent uploading schedule. So, anyway, there it is. Tremors ranking. See you guys in the next video. Spoiler alert. We're gonna be the next one's gonna be not my second favorite movie. I don't know. Definitely something I'm a fan of. It's gonna consist of Charlie Brown. So that'll be the next video. So I hope to see you guys there, and thank you guys for joining in.